Hi guys, so I'm going for my morning walk here in Mexico, but I wanted to talk to you today about what it truly takes to step into being. A lot of times we're so focused on what we're doing and not focused on what we're being, which makes it more difficult for you to have radical change. Now, doing is great, right? You're supposed to do. Belief without action is just a dream. If you're not familiar with Wallace D. Wattles, he talks about it's not about doing things, it's about doing things in a certain way, right? So before you do, you have to be. And I'm using myself as an example because I just had to go through this. I am currently positioning myself back to acclimate back into the United States. I've been here in Mexico for a couple of months now. And I told myself that, I wanted to pivot back into my aviation career. In pivoting back into my aviation career, I not only wanted to go back to that career, but I want to elevate. I want to earn a lot more money. I want to get into the six-figure frequency. And if any of you know about aviation, if any of you know about the current income of people who are in the aviation industry, they don't make a lot of money. As an international flight attendant, when I was an international flight attendant, I did not make a lot of money, honey. And I wanted to change that paradigm. Is that true for all flight attendants, right? Is that true? Is there evidence where there are flight attendants that are making six figures? And yeah, there are, but they're at the corporate level. I'm gonna go this way, you guys. I'm sorry. Está bien. One of my mentors said something very profound. She said that you have to get as close to that thing as humanly possible. The thing is, before you begin to do, you have to be. So, who am I being, right? In order for you to be the person that you need to be, you can't change it with mindset, right? Because if your mind has been conditioned to think or to be a certain type of way and you don't really see a lot of that evidence, you haven't seen it in your own life, it's going to be very difficult for you to change, right? Trying to change matter with matter is not going to be good. You're going to be trying to put a lot of effort into what you're doing as opposed to embodying and changing your frequency, right? So, what I did, and I'm using myself as an example, like I said, is I had to go high, right? I had to go into the spirit realm and ask myself, did it feel good to only be earning the bare minimum as a flight attendant? It didn't feel good, right? So, if it doesn't feel good, that means that it's not true. So, I had to adopt the belief that being a flight attendant, making under livable wages does not feel good. I love being a flight attendant. I absolutely love traveling the world, but it didn't feel good that I didn't make, above a certain wage, right? So if it doesn't feel good, that means it's not true. And that is the belief that I had to adopt before I took the action under the new identity, right? I had to believe that the belief that I had before was not a belief that was serving me. Because if I decided to take action under the same belief that, okay, I want to be a flight attendant, but I haven't changed my belief, and I go into taking action, I'm going to get the same results because I am patterned and programmed under that belief to operate under the belief that a flight attendant only makes a certain amount of money, right? So I had to change that. Once I got up into spirit, what does the higher me, what does the God essence, what does my God essence want for me, right? Okay, the God essence wants for me to thrive and to live an abundant life. And so I want to go from earning a five figure to a high six figure salary, right? Because I'm inching myself up to this ladder of belief and this ladder of wealth. So I said, okay, well, can I find evidence? Is there evidence of people that are out there that are flight attendants that are making six figures? And because there is evidence of that, that means that it is true. Getting out of the belief that I can only make a certain amount of money being a flight attendant, and saying to my spiritual self, my higher self, that that is not true, and then adopting the new belief that I could be a six-figure earner as a flight attendant. Adopting that new belief, now I can take action under that new belief. I had to think different thoughts. What were the thoughts? I had to say to myself, well, what can I do right now to put myself in the frequency of a six-figure earner as a flight attendant, right? I have to get myself as close to that thing as I possibly can so that the universe or that God can meet me the rest of the way. Because if I've done all that I can do, then that means I could rest and I could just be in the beautiful expectation of the thing that I have worked for in terms of my position and my role, right? Because I am a co-creator. I'm not doing this by myself. So I have my upcoming flight going back to the US, and I got this intuitive nudge. I know it was nothing but the divine, right? But I got this intuitive nudge to upgrade my seating, because if I want to elevate myself to a higher standard, then why would I want to just be in the cheapest seats on a plane, right? If I'm saying to myself, and I believe, right, with this new belief system that I have adopted, if I believe that I am a six-figure earning flight attendant, what can I do to get myself closer to that being a reality in my observed world? And so what I did was I upgraded my seating, right? I upgraded my seating to get as close to first class. I leveled up. And so now I have gotten myself as close to what would be considered a higher caliber of passengers, right? Because there's only a certain type of person that flies first class or flies private, right? So I put my body in motion to get as close to that thing as possible. I'm doing what is necessary by taking the proper action after changing my mindset. So it's not just about believing, right? It's not just about believing in a thing, right? Because you can believe in something one minute and unbelieve in it the next. But it is about embodying that belief and knowing that belief to be true, and then move your body in the essence of that knowing. Now, will this process be uncomfortable? Yes, that's the point. Because if it wasn't uncomfortable for you to do, then that means it's not challenging for you to accomplish, right? So me getting as close to first class as I possibly could, I had to circulate money that I wasn't ready to spend. And when you're thinking about premium, when you're thinking about upper echelon and leveling up, when you're thinking about those things, you have to be at a certain caliber financially. And I gotta be real, I'm not there yet. So yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to have to say to yourself in those moments of comfortability, it's like, okay, I'm uncomfortable because the old me is trying to keep me safe. I'm uncomfortable because the old me finds this unfamiliar. But I have to be uncomfortable so that the new me can emerge. So now I can normalize that feeling because I know what it is like, because I've done the action, right? So I'm going to go ahead and leave you for now, but I will be holding on to your love. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until the next one. Bye.